Am I the asshole for refusing to go to the funeral of my stepmom's mom? My mom died when I was a baby and my dad married my stepmom when I was 4. She had 3 kids with her ex-husband and I have 2 siblings who were born after my dad and stepmom were married. Stepmom had a big family and her mom was the heart of the family and she was always so generous with her grandkids. But it was always clear I was not one of them. My dad and stepmom insisted I couldn't be left out, so she just got me lesser stuff. Things like used coloring books, secondhand and mostly broken toys, basic socks that were often too small and ratty old secondhand books once I got a little older. In comparison, my step-siblings and younger siblings got video games, video game consoles, expense toys like go-karts and big dollhouses, cell phones, laptops, etc. They also got treated to special trips that I wasn't welcome on. She would secretly give them money or grab ice cream with them and leave me out when everyone was gathered. She also took photos behind my dad and stepmom's back. But even when they did find out, nothing was done. I felt like shit honestly. My step-siblings' dad hated me too and they never accepted me either because so many adults in their life didn't. I have always felt like my dad and stepmom should have protected me more. She always said I was her daughter too but let me be treated so differently. They all know it hurt. I'm 17 now and my stepmom's mom passed away recently and the funeral is in a couple of days. I told them I won't go. They wanted me to pretend to be the grieving grandchild and join the others. But I'm not grieving and I was clearly never a grandchild. My dad and stepmom are mad at me for saying no. Dad said I should be there for my stepmom. Am I the asshole for losing it on a girl when she kept accusing me of racism because I accepted work as a translator? I graduated university last week and will be starting an internship later this month. Because of graduation, I've met with some friends from uni and not everyone knew about my new job. We were talking about our plans and this is where the situation begins. A little backstory. I am a white girl from Slovakia, currently living in England where I attended and graduated uni. My degree is language and translation related. The language I specialize in is Farsi. We were talking about our plans for summer and I mentioned my upcoming internship which is related to my ideal career path. My friend, Karina, asked if it's Slovak English interpreting to which I replied that no. It's Slovak Farsi. She didn't appreciate that. She told me that it wasn't okay to take jobs away from minorities and that I shouldn't take a job from native Farsi speaker. I told her that it works both ways and there aren't many Slovak Farsi interpreters out there. She told me that's irrelevant and as a white woman I shouldn't take jobs away from minorities. I was stunned. Honestly, I didn't really know what to say to her. So I just changed the subject completely. I thought it was done and dusted. After graduation, I got back home and the next day I had a flight to Spain for summer holidays. I haven't had a chance to check any social media for a while. Finally, when I was in a hotel, ready for bed, I checked my IG and TikTok and was shocked to find huge amount of mentions, comments, etc. I started checking it and it was Karina blasting me online for being racist and using my privilege as white woman to oppress others. I felt sick. I didn't think she would do something like this. I called her and lost it on her. Accused her of online bullying, of not understanding what she's accusing me of. I blocked her but she just created new accounts to make sure she can tag me. I am sitting on the beach right now and instead of enjoying my holidays I keep wondering if I am missing something and perhaps she was right and I just didn't see it. Am I the asshole for blowing up at her? Am I the asshole for telling sister-in-law our kids are more important than her destination wedding? My husband and I are foster to adopt parents. We have 2 children we adopted from foster care and our oldest but the second child to become our child is 8 years old and has a lot of trauma built up. My husband comes from an almost identical background to our son, right down to how he was treated for so many years. Our son has a very strong attachment to my husband and is only calmed by him when seriously distressed, which is every night without fail. He suffers night terrors due to his experiences in the system. My husband will often hold him. Today I learned he can fall asleep and he will stay with him and hold him after his night terrors. Without this our son cannot settle again and he becomes inconsolable. He does love me, but does not get the same comfort from me. Because he knows his dad gets it and it helps him feel safe. Some time ago my husband had to leave for 3 days and our son was a mess by the time he got back. He actually had to leave early because he was meant to be gone a week. But my son couldn't function without him. Sil told us in December that her early September would be a destination wedding in another country. We could not afford to fly all 4 of us and we communicated this to her. She expressed that she needed her brother to be there at least. My husband told her he would see what he could do. She said it gave us plenty of time for our son to be okay without him for just 4 nights. The 4 nights are because he would be flying for an entire day. And the wedding festivities are over a day and he wouldn't make it home quickly. We said we would see, but it hasn't happened. My son still needs his dad. He has made some progress. But it is delicate and could be set back if he is pushed for too long too soon. My husband told his sister and she was mad. She said he couldn't keep putting the kids above all else. That we need to live our lives. Especially him. He told her he couldn't risk our son's progress and that progress is slow. Which it has been. She came to me and begged me to talk him around. She told me how badly she wants her brother there and how much she'll miss him. She said it's not her fault we didn't want to spend the money to all come. I told her it's not that we didn't want to. But we couldn't. Because it was a lot of money for just one person even. She accused me of coddling our son too much. I asked her if she remembered what her brother went through when their parents adopted him. She said he was never like that and he hasn't been harmed by not being coddled the same way. I told her they are different people. But surely she knew it had caused trauma. She said her wedding is a once-in-a-lifetime event. I told her that our kids are more important than her destination wedding. She did not take that well. Ada because many people are commenting on why we are not getting him help. Our son has been under the care of a team of therapists and a psychiatrist since he arrived in our home. But progress will be very slow. Am I the asshole for only paying for son wedding? Hello everyone, I have been going through some trouble recently and one of my kids told me about this place, so I'm here to ask you all for help. She also mentioned I should probably tell you guys I'm on mobile. Okay, I am a 57-year-old male who has 3 kids. 30 male, 27 female, and 25 male. Me and my wife have paid for each of my 2 oldest wedding, which covered dress, suit, bridal parties. If they wanted to make a destination wedding, we covered guests who couldn't afford it in the honeymoon. Now there was not budget placed on them. My oldest wedding total was around 85k, my middle kids was around 120k. Now my youngest is getting married, him and his soon-to-be wife don't believe in big weddings and total is around 20k. Now my kids didn't know how much each other's wedding cost as I didn't share and I guess they didn't see the need to bring it up. So the problem came up this past weekend. My soon-to-be daughter-in-law was talking to my middle daughter and my oldest son wife about their weddings and I guess the totals came up. Now my youngest son and his fiancé are demanding I write them a check for the difference for down payment on a condo or house. I refused and stated I was only paying for their wedding and now they are threatening to disinvite me. So am I the asshole? So it has come up, so I'm adding this here from the comments. I paid for all my kids' college lives. On top of that they each have 3 trust funds that got released at 18, 25 and 35. Am I the asshole for not thanking the guy who held the door open for me? I, 35F, was walking down a long corridor. I am pregnant, so I walk a bit slower than usual. I have seen a guy in front of me holding the door open for me for no reason. I had to run 30+ meters to get to the door so he doesn't have to wait. Now I am breathless, smiled, nervously, and walked past him. As he gestured, he said, "Why not a thank you?" I am now confused. Well, I didn't ask you to hold the door. I can perfectly do it. I had to rush and you created this situation for both of us, and now asking for thank you. Women can open doors by themselves. My hands were free.